Hey, it's the Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, with
N64 Jen.
And we got to see Animal Crossing New Horizon from the E3 presentation. And it got delayed till March 20th, 2020. How you feeling? You gonna be okay?
I'm trying. No, I'm really excited though, so it's worth the wait.
So the first thing we're going to talk about, we're just going to jump into kind of our impressions of the trailer. Before we do that, guys, we do want to invite you to the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord, if you're looking for people to play games with. We've also got the Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. If that's where you like to hang out online, then, by all means, check that out. But it's a great way for us to connect with you. We also have the subreddit, n64josh.com/r. So E3 2019 has come and gone. I was there. It was amazing. Such a great time. But probably the saddest news of the entire show was the fact that Animal Crossing got delayed until March 2020.
Yeah.
So it opens with, and it came later in the direct. It wasn't right away. Like I was worried. I was worried about this delay from the moment I got to E3 because I got my lanyard and it did not have Animal Crossing on it. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is really bad.
I know.
So,
and I was really hoping they'd be like all decked out with Animal Crossing.
I did too. But I will say this. Although it wasn't Animal Crossing, they did a Luigi's Mansion thing that I guess had these different like holograms going around. I didn't get to go in. I was too busy. I did get to walk through the Pokemon, the Pokemon Stadium that was set up for cool. Pokemon Sword and Shield. And Link's Awakening, they only had 24 stations. So that line was always crazy long. And it had a little bit of decoration to it. Like they had some little almost like a little diorama or something, so it was kind of fun. But the Luigi's Mansion, I think, took the cake. I didn't get to go inside and see it. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, at PAX West, we'll be able to check it out and hopefully check it out together. So that'll be cool. But Animal Crossing, we get to this part of the direct. It's just it's a black screen and you hear a voice talking about, you could tell it was like Nookington Inc. or something like that, and it was like you've your charter flight to a deserted island. So what's going through your head when this first pops up on the screen?
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting that, a deserted island, so that was it was super exciting. I'm like, okay, here's everything like we were waiting for. What can we find out? What are they going to show us? And I'm pretty excited.
So it's almost like they went like where we were when we talked about some of the things that we would like to see, we wanted to see a little more, a lot more end game stuff, right? Where they're taking it back to like square one, like you hit this island and you better pick up some of the sticks off the ground because you're going to have to do these DIY projects to make different tools and things like that. And there were some really exciting things.
It kind of excites me. It does, because sometimes I felt like it was too easy to obtain some of the tools and whatnot. Like, this is really going to give us a lot more gameplay. I think a lot more time involved if you want, Heck yeah. Yeah. There's going to be a lot to do. One of the things I've watched the trailer a couple times. I'm going to have it playing. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you're going to be seeing some of the footage, but one of the things right off the bat that they showed was making paths and spreading what looked like concrete, right? For sidewalks or whatever. So that's kind of cool. We can actually get real paths now. Yep. That's good.
We then went in and watched the treehouse stuff.
Yes.
Right. And we watched that for, I think it was about almost a half hour, and we got a lot more info. One of the nicest things is the fact that you can push your furniture in your house in half increments instead of just full increments, which I believe was introduced in Happy Home Designer.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool because it just allows you a little more versatility as far as decorating goes. But I think the thing you were probably the most excited about is when you have items with you and you walk outside.
You can place them.
You can place them instead of just dropping them.
Yes.
So that means
It's huge.
we were talking about a yard and they were like, nah.
Just
how about everything?
Whatever, yeah.
How about everything? How about that pole to get through the like if you
That
want to just
is
cross
fun.
anywhere
I
you want
love
to,
that.
just pull that little pole
Right?
out and boom,
That's great.
you are across the water. Really great feature.
Yes.
Because it was kind of annoying having to run your certain
very.
path every time.
Well, and you can only have so many bridges.
Mm-hmm.
So once you're maxed out, you still have to walk around. And so, yeah, that's exciting. And, if you're chasing a bug and you have to hold on, let
Right.
me run around.
That's happened before, right?
Right?
They
Yeah.
fly over the
Exactly.
little the creek or whatever, and you're like, well, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. Now you just hop over.
Now you just hop over. So great quality of life feature there.
Yeah.
Weeds and everything.
Yes. Like the detail they've added to all this stuff is
Let's
insane.
talk about it. Let's talk about that.
Like it's just beautiful. It's always been a cute game. It's always just been, cutesy and fun. But they've put a lot of detail, like the leaves on the trees blowing to all the different weeds and not just being, a little piece of grass, but like
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got like they almost look furry.
Yeah.
They're kind of blowing in the wind. There's so many different materials. Like
Yeah.
even when you hit a tree with an axe, you don't fall the tree anymore.
Right.
You hit it 3 times, it drops 3 pieces of wood. There was like a golden color wood. There was also a darker colored wood.
Like a hardwood, I think.
Could be, yeah. And so those different items are going to be used for making different things. They were showcasing on the treehouse, like putting together bonfires and campfires and what you need to be able to do that and the different.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to be at this beginning stage for quite some time. But if you look at the map, it's massive. Like if you look closely during some of the treehouse event, you can see where your tent is on the map and then just how big it is.
Yeah.
And they're only showing us like the very, very early stages.
Right.
This is all going to progress to eventually get to a full on like town, city, whatever the case is. And it's like, well, how do we get there? Like, how are we going to introduce industry into Animal Crossing at this point? And I'm excited. And so one of the things, and we're going to go over some various details and things like that. But one of the things that's not included is there's going to be no cloud saves. And I know a lot of people they get frustrated by that because if your Switch dies, you're going to lose all your progress.
If it dies, like your battery dies?
No. Like if it dies. No, not if your battery dies.
Because my battery dies all the time. I have to deal with Rossetti. I wonder if Rossetti's going to be
He
there.
doesn't have a job. It auto saves.
Oh, so no Rossetti?
Well, as of right now, nobody knows if he's
Kinda
there,
sad.
but he's lost his
annoying,
job.
But
So who knows? Maybe
Okay.
maybe him and his brother will be down underneath controlling the autosave stuff.
There you go.
So they'll still hopefully be.
Yeah.
But there is no. You cannot not save.
okay.
Right. But
That's
they didn't.
good.
They didn't want people manipulating time with these cloud saves.
Yeah.
So they're not allowing it. So a lot of people, it gets frustrating though, because if your Switch if it does give up the ghost,
Yeah.
if you send it into Nintendo and they have to format it, your game is gone.
Wow.
All your progress. You can't save it to your SD card or anything like that. It's stuck to the system memory. So,
Interesting.
I mean, for some people, it's going to happen. There's no way around it. It's just the way it is. But I mean, I've never had an issue with my 3DS, and I've moved that save between multiple 3DSs,
Yeah.
and it's always been fine. So
That's true. Okay.
hopefully it's a very small number of people that are going to have an issue, but
Yeah.
it is there, and I can see why people are going to be frustrated by it. So anything else from the trailer that really jumped out at you before we have a big list of things we're going to look at here. So
Oh, I don't know. It just gets me excited. I liked all of it. I don't know. It's really hard to wait 9 more months, but yeah, I'm thrilled with the idea of being able to put furniture outside. That is so exciting. And just the aspect of so much more to do. I love that.
Yeah, that's really what it looks like. So we're going to go through this list here. IGN kind of went through and did a really good breakdown and of all the different things that are going to be kind of in this, not everything, but a handful of things are going to be in this game. And there's quite a bit of information here, including like there won't be direct connectivity with Pocket Camp, which I thought initially was going to be the case, but there still may be some events that are tied to it or things like that. But it's not like the things that you have in Pocket Camp are going to move over into this game.
Okay.
So, so there is that. So here we go. I'm actually on NintendoEverything.com. I will have a link to this in the show notes if you guys want to check them out. Show notes, of course, can be found at n64josh.com/ACP7. This is episode 7. So it's kind of exciting. So, so when you first arrive on the island through Nook Inc. Deserted Island Getaway package, you'll arrive with 2 or so other random islanders who choose to participate in the package as well.
Okay.
So you're not going to be alone. You're going to have some people there. Nogami, who is one of the developers, said that because they invested in this package, they have as much of a right to stay on the island as you do. They said before they choose a spot for their home, they'll check with you to see if it's okay.
See, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, so you can kind of decide where they're going to go.
Yeah.
If you don't like where they settle down, you can tell them you don't want to build. You don't want to build in that particular spot, and move their house location to wherever you see fit. Okay. So that's nice. Different from New Leaf, since you're on the same starting ground as the Islanders. So you're all getting there at the same time and going, okay, where are we going to put our tents?
Yeah.
Right? The plane lands, I guess, or I don't know if you're going to parachute out. Like, I really don't know what they're going to do. I mean, it's deserted island, so
right.
No
runway.
Maybe it's like a
seaplane.
Yeah. So you got to swim in.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I don't know what they're going to do there. So,
okay.
Let's see. You after getting things started, you'll develop your own town in New Horizons, which shouldn't be too surprising to returning fans. Mm-hmm. The team made sure there are new elements like building an island, right? So there's going to be more to it there. Mm-hmm. After the island is there, it develops some of their. It's not written very well here, guys. So bear with me. What will probably seem familiar to existing fans. It develops into something, I think is what they meant to put. They just develops something into something. It develops into something that will probably seem familiar to existing fans. Elements and buildings of the town we unlock won't be in the same order as New Leaf's.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, system in place to provide an opportunity to invite animals to the island, but not necessarily seek out one of Animal Crossing's many animals. So, I don't know exactly what that means. If you can invite certain animals, but not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe that just kind of means some wildlife even. I'm not sure. We're just kind of speculating at this point.
Yeah.
When you first move to the island, you will be with 2 or so animals, Timmy and Tommy and Tom Nook. They'll also be there. They look great in their
so
little
cute in their little
Hawaiian shirts. Yeah, they totally look like they're ready for the island. And I mean, Tom Nook's come such a long way from that blue towel he used to wear around his waist, that little apron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other islanders that arrive with you can't be forced off the island, but they can leave if it's their wish.
So how do they leave? Does a plane come pick them up?
I don't know. And that's kind of something too. Like when I was first watching the trailer, I broke down the first 2 frames and I have an article up on n64josh.com, but I'm like, you can see other islands from your island. So can you swim to that?
You can.
Can you boat to that? You can see other islands? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see other islands in the trailer, like the villagers walking on the beach, and you can see as they kind of make their way up the hill, there's an island in the distance, and then there's another spot where you can see 2 islands, and I'm like,
I didn't notice that.
So I wonder
why they'd want to leave, if it's a random thing or if it's like you're not building the town how they want it or something.
It's probably just how it used to be.
Yeah,
you don't interact with them, they move, and then new ones move in.
Yeah. But I wonder if are they gonna give us suggestions on what they want us to build?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure. Let's see. Tom Nook doesn't charge interest on loans and will patiently wait to be paid back, even if it takes forever.
Oh, that's nice.
Animals who join you on your adventure are also in debt to Tom Nook.
Interesting.
That's an interesting new.
So they have to work also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're not just there randomly fishing.
Right.
They're there because, I mean, typically you don't see your animals doing anything of use other than maybe watering flowers.
I was going to say, yeah, sometimes they help you water.
But then if you have it on beautiful, it doesnno't matter anyway.
If that's even a thing, though.
In the new game, yeah.
Right.
May not be a thing.
Okay, well, that's interesting. That could be fun.
Tom Nook is reinvesting back into the community with resident services. Not really sure what that is. He tirelessly works 24 hours making sure that all residents on the island are happy and are living a good life. Okay. Island, I'm guessing it's supposed to be islanders, pay back Tom Nook at their own pace, regardless of how fast you can do it. Nook Miles is a new reward program with its own currency that Kaiju Goku, I believe, is how you say his name, and Nogami Hope encourage both old and new players to try various kinds of activities and new horizons. And so some of this is tied to like the DIY projects, and it looked like if you built all of your tools, you would then earn Nook Miles.
Yeah.
Right? And then what these are going to be for exactly, they didn't really go into a lot of detail. They kind of just...
I think they said something, though, along the lines of it. You can use your miles to unlock more projects, though, or something like that.
Something along those lines, yeah. So...
Or recipes, maybe it was.
More DIY recipes, yeah. Complete various tasks like fishing or crafting to essentially complete the achievements, like we just said.
Right.
And then, here we go. Exchange the Nook Miles for special things like Nook Inc. uniform, DIY recipes, and other services. Okay. So as of right now, it says there's no direct connectivity with Pocket Camp, but collaboration items being planned.
Interesting.
So that's kind of cool. Hair and facial features are also changeable. So that's nice.
So I was wondering about that because, like, we love going to the salon and getting our hair done.
Right. But it looks like even, too, like, if you don't pick the right eyes, you don't like your eyes, you can actually change those because some,
Well, if you don't pay attention in the older ones at the beginning and answering the right questions, that determines how your face looks. So sometimes...
You don't even know. We'd always go to the strategy guide so that we would get the look that we wanted.
Right, exactly. So that's cool.
If you just randomly picked, you would get a completely random looking villager. Is it an islander now instead of villager?
Oh, maybe we're islanders.
It says there's no distinction between masculine and feminine features and new hair and facial features to choose from. So
maybe you can have a beard. Oh, that'd be fun.
Now we're talking. I'm gonna grow it like Tom Hanks on on what was that, Castaway? Yeah, it's just gonna be like a mile long. I'm never gonna pay anything back, and I'm just gonna stay in my tent for like the first 3 years of New Horizon, just constantly using my my flimsy pole and my flimsy shovel and all that stuff. So that's just kind of the breakdown from IGN of the new things like that. So here's just a few more things, some questions that were asked. Let's see. It looks like this comes courtesy of Mike Tendo 64. I'm looking at NintendoEverything.com just because they have the kind of the breakdown here. So one of the things it says in New Horizons, you have introduced the Nook phone. Do you also plan on dedicated application in real life to synchronize exchanges? It says we want to make sure that everyone can play without making this kind of companion app necessary to enjoy the experience. Well, that's good because there's probably going to be some little kids that don't necessarily have phones. That's why we prefer to avoid making it a prerequisite. That being said, we will take advantage of the Nintendo Switch Online application for voice chat. We are also planning other things for future through this service, through this service. So that's kind of cool. Voice chat, there is up to 8-player multiplayer. So that's going to be pretty fun.
Right.
And they did show, just like when we were watching the Treehouse presentation, you can split the Joy, take the Joy-Cons off, and one person is the leader, so they decide where you move on the map, and then the other player just kind of has to follow along.
Right.
But it's nice. You can collect stuff together. You can actually work together. So if if you're a parent with younger kids, or you just have a friend over that wants to come try the game, they don't have to just sit and watch. They can actually participate, which I think is good.
Yeah.
I think it's good. And it looks like you can pretty much do the way they have the button layout and everything. It looks pretty good. I mean, and I like the way too, like if you pick up one weed, it just starts stacking on top of itself. So you can hold like 10 to 50. I don't know what the numbers were exactly, but that's nice.
Yes,
because
it doesn't fill up your pockets as fast.
Yeah. And hopefully it'd be nice if they would do that with fish and other things too. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but if you caught like 4 snapper. Like
Right.
sometimes I just want to sit and fish forever and not have to make that trek back.
Yeah, sometimes, going back and unloading your pockets is, tedious. But can we talk about fishing for a second?
Yeah, let's
Finish that.
Real quick. There's not too much here. We'll just knock this out, and then we'll talk about some of that other stuff that we kept watching during the Treehouse events. So let's see. It says, do you plan to take advantage of touch to play or customize items? And it says, we wanted to make sure that New Horizons used many features of the Switch, both undocked and docked. When players play in docked mode, we want to make them easier to handle with traditional control method. To answer your customization question more specifically, there are My Design elements borrowed from New Leaf that will be in New Horizon. In summary, we designed the gameplay for a classic grip, but there will also be elements designed for touchscreen play. Okay, then they go on to talk about the cloud saves, which they will not be compatible because they want people to avoid manipulating time. So all you time travelers, they're watching. Okay,
I know, right?
They're watching. They're watching. We never really time traveled in New Leaf.
No.
At all. Like, it was tempting because we would miss certain
That's
things.
the hard part is if you are busy, depending on the holiday or event, sometimes it's a bummer to have to wait for the next one. But.
Correct, yeah. So then the next thing here says, can you confirm that Animal Crossing New Horizons will be compatible with Amiibo? And it says, given the number of cards and figures available, we obviously think that New Horizons will be compatible with Amiibo, but I cannot tell you more than this about this compatibility at this stage of development. So yeah. That's nice. We have a lot of Amiibo cards. We have a lot of Amiibo figures, all of them, so that'll be nice to be able to hopefully use those. They didn't, obviously really confirm anything there, but they said they think they'll be compatible. So that's good. But let's go back to we watched this half-hour Treehouse presentation and we noticed something happening on the beach right away. What was it?
Well, we could see water squirting out of the beach, out of the sand.
Yeah, little hole,
what was that?
This looks like a clam. Mm-hmm. And we kind of thought they were just going to leave it there as a teaser because they didn't do anything with it. And then finally, what happened?
So you can dig up the clam and you can use it to make bait for fishing.
And they didn't really go into detail on this.
They didn't show any of it. They didn't show, and they didn't do any fishing to show us the kind of fish you could catch, but they just said that you could make bait for fishing. So that's very...
I'm really curious, maybe that means the shadows are randomized now versus just, not that they weren't random before, but I'm wondering if you have clam bait on, if that's going to draw or attract different fish.
That's what I wonder too, is if it doesn't change, add variety to the different fish or, because it kind of, sometimes I feel like right now, time of day and season obviously, makes different fish show up, or the rain. A lot of times if it's raining, a lot more fish will be present. But this whole bait issue could really change things.
Yeah, what if you need bait?
I know, right?
Then you're going to have to go, are there going to be worms that are squirming out of the ground?
I wonder how that works. You just go around and randomly dig and there's worms.
Dig up worms possibly.
That could be fun.
When it rains, will worms be wandering around that you could pick up? It seems like bait might be readily available.
Yeah.
It would definitely change things up for the fishing where it was so easy to just go and and maybe you can also buy some bait. Maybe there's maybe some Nook power bait or something like that.
I really wish they would have shown more with that, but I guess that's just part of the tease.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You guys can all pretty much guarantee that we're going to see another Nintendo Direct focused strictly on Animal Crossing, probably around anytime between, my guess, between September and November. We will see another Direct that is really focused on Animal Crossing, and even possibly strictly Animal Crossing, where they just showcase a lot more of the stuff. And so, but I think there's a lot of elements of surprise they want to keep.
I think so. And I was kind of frustrated because I'm like, okay, they're showing us playing, they're playing. Why can't we play? It looks ready to me. And that is one thing they said, though. They said, I know this appears, ready to play, but trust us. We really want you to give us a few more months to really make this totally awesome. So, because I was like, wait, come on. This looks ready. I'm happy. Let's go.
Well, no, as soon as she picked me up from the airport, she's like, okay, it's been 10 years. What's been taking? I'm like, okay, first, it hasn't been 10 years.
Feels like 10 years.
I know. It feels, for us Animal Crossing
fans, you got it.
Yeah, it feels like 10 years. And so I get it. I'm totally ready. But like, I'm cool. Just taking the time. And I'm really curious, like 8 players, I wonder if we're going to be able to go and help each other, like really get towns moved along and things that, you know, and what's going to be great when new people are coming in, like they've never played before, they get the game 6 months after it's out. Like we'd be able to come together as a community and be like, hey, we got tons of stuff for you to be able to help build your stuff now. Like it could really be a cool community, just a community building game, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, and a lot of questions, and
there really is. So we're gonna continue to go through. Like we're gonna watch. We're just gonna find as much stuff as we can. We may have already kind of checked most of it out. I got to see if there was maybe a part 2. I don't know. So that's the thing. I'm at E3. I didn't hardly watch anything from the tree. I watched nothing from the treehouse.
Really?
I didn't have any time.
Yeah.
I couldn't just sit and watch. I watched their direct, of course, and literally was writing the entire time I was watching it. And then after it was done, it was just I was back to work. So I wasn't really able to see it. But one of the things I want to point out too, it looked like they had a garden. They were kind of growing a little garden outside, and they showed that real fast moving, like it kind of was changing like the from rain to sun, and they were fishing, and it was kind of all just fast forwarded. But like even walking around with an umbrella, you could see it was wet, and it looked wet from the rain hitting it and things like that. So just lots of really cool little details. I think I saw a firefly at one point.
Which I love that. But do you think it's gonna snow?
Yeah, they showed them throwing snowballs.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it snows on this deserted beach.
I know. That's the other thing. Do we leave? Do we go and see?
I know.
Is there island life outside of our island? You know, where we get on the boat and go and catch bugs?
So interesting. I did notice the native fruit. Like again, they just have one fruit, so you got
just apples.
Yep. So you'll see what your fruit is.
All right. Well, hey, that's gonna wrap it up for this. Where can people find you online?
On
Twitter?
Instagram and Twitter at N64Gen.
There you go, guys. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. She's even on Twitch. She may be streaming some Animal Crossing soon. That's twitch.tv/N64Gen. All the branding's on point. Guys, thank you so much for listening or watching on YouTube. We really appreciate it. If you want to interact with us, leave a comment on this video. If you're just listening, you can look at the show notes, n64josh.com/APC7. You can leave a comment there. We'd love to hear from you guys. We're going to try to get more interaction and hear from you guys and what your thoughts were about New Horizons and the Direct. Stay tuned to n64josh.com for that. I'll put up a post this week so that we can hear from you, and we'll read your responses on next week's episode. So thank you so much for listening. We really, really do appreciate it, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Get ready for island life.